The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has filed charges against the trading platforms Genesis and Gemini in regards to unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities through Gemini Earn. This is coming from Gary Gensler, who is the head chair of the SEC. This is his Twitter account. We also have an article that highlights more details on this. I am going to share my thoughts, my opinions at the end. This article is from Watcher Guru. I have a link to the article down in the description. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you guys to go do your own research. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. SEC officially charges crypto firms Gemini and Genesis for sale of unregistered securities. The Securities and Exchange Commission has officially charged crypto firms Gemini and Genesis for the sale of unregistered securities. The development arrives as a conflict between nearly all parties involved has escalated into a public affair. The SEC has levied the charges against both Genesis Global Capital and Gemini Trust Company respectfully. Moreover, the block reports those charges to officially be classified as, quote, the unregistered offer and sale of securities to retail investors through a Gemini crypto lending program. SEC issues charges against crypto firms. Two prominent crypto lending firms have been the subject of numerous headlines for much of the past few months, as Gemini and Genesis have been embroiled into a public dispute. Allegations of fraudulent activity, misleading accounting, and misguiding public statements have been thrown across both sides in the fight that came to a head this week. Now the SEC has officially levied charges against both Genesis and Gemini for the reported sale of unregistered securities. According to reports from the block, the United States regulator has stated that Genesis entered into an agreement in December of 2020 with Gemini to offer the latter's customers the chance to loan their crypto to Genesis. The deal would see Genesis promise to pay interest on those offered loans. Subsequently, in February of 2021, both offered the Gemini Earn program to retail investors, who then, quote, tendered their crypto to Genesis, according to the report. Within these transactions, Gemini would act as the facilitator and collect a 4.29% agent fee, according to the SEC. Genesis would then, quote, exercise discretion in how to use investors' crypto assets to generate revenue and pay interest to Gemini Earn investors. Thereafter, in November of 2022, Genesis stated it would no longer let Gemini Earn investors withdraw due to Genesis's insolvency. While around $900 million in assets from investors. The SEC then notes that customers have not been able to withdraw their crypto despite the Gemini Earn program shutting down earlier this month. SEC officials say both Genesis and Gemini engaged in a partnership and embraced activities that constituted the charges of offering and selling unregistered security. Although Genesis was the issuer, the official stated both parties are liable. All right. Now, as far as for my thoughts on this, it seems like they're, what's the phrase? A day late, a dollar short. Come on. Right now, we're in a position where customers are trying to get access back to their funds. Let me know. What do you guys think? Do you think that if they get fined a substantial amount of money, that will make it harder to pay the customers off that were affected by this? Why is it that they're doing this now, so late into this, when there were plenty of signs and publicity and marketing and everything else that was going on for this platform? The SEC was like, oh yeah, we're not going to do anything now. Let's watch it play out. Oh, now that something went wrong, okay, well, we want to get our cut, right? Like, let's make sure that we get paid out off of this. It's something that's been discussed before, too, with the whole stock meme trend. I've talked about this stuff in my previous videos with Robinhood and with Citadel and what's happened there. And a lot of times, people look at the SEC and they say that they're not actually properly doing their job. They're in there saying that they're supposedly trying to be protecting the regular retail investor. Well, they've been doing a lot of things that doesn't really look like it. Looks like they just give a little slap on the wrist to many of these big players and then say, hey, here's a fine, give us our cut. Okay, there you go. Go ahead and keep doing the stuff that you've been doing. Right? They say like, oh, we're fining you for the X, Y, and Z things. This is especially more prominent with Citadel when I'm making this reference. I don't really think that there's been many instances of them battling it out between Genesis or Gemini here for these specifics, these specific examples, okay? So what is going to happen next? Next, we're going to see this going into the bankruptcy phase as they're still trying to get everything resolved there. I believe that's still in process. And then in addition to that, too, customers are on the standby waiting to see if they're going to be able to get access to any of their funds back or all of their funds back. And with the SEC being involved in the middle of all of this, I don't know if that potentially is going to extend out the time frame of getting this resolved or how much these fines are going to be. If they're very minor fines, then okay, that shouldn't really affect all of the different customers, right? Because we're, again, talking about just a little bit of money. If this is a huge charge, which I have a feeling, again, it's an opinionated thing, I have a feeling it's probably going to be pretty sizable. We were seeing something comparatively with Coinbase out of the state of New York recently, and I believe that was for in total about $250 or $500 million. So we're not talking about a small amount of money there. We're talking about a substantial amount of money. I would not be surprised if we saw something in that kind of range, above $100 million for this case. But I could be wrong. Let us know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. Do you think that everything's going to get resolved with Gemini and Genesis? Do you feel like this is the SEC just trying to sort of throw themselves in because the crypto market is starting to make a run up and they're trying to interfere and get it to start driving back down? Because we did just see Bitcoin pass above $19,000 and now it's pulled back just a little bit. But psychologically, it's understandable. It's starting to make a run. Some people want to take some profits. Some people concerned whether or not we're going to see this is like a bull trap. And also, we just had the CPI reports coming out, and everything just sort of tied in with that. Buy the rumor, sell the news. You kind of go over all of that. And so we're seeing some of the responses in the comments. I'll go ahead and touch on these real quick. Impeccable timing, absolutely impeccable. People saying, yikes, whoa, 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 Bitcoin, SEC crossing, stop. Which one? So again, it was talking about the lending system over here, right? So the Gemini earn, sorry. This is about to send Genesis to 0 and Bitcoin and 9K. The SEC won't let me be or let me be, so let me see. They tried to shut me down. Eminem. Well, Bitcoin, just where do you think you're going? We blow through one supply zone with things looking good, and these guys wage holy effing war against crypto. My money is on. They want it to dip lower for institutions to load up. They waited until we actually saw a pop on Bitcoin to do it. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but again, let us know what you guys think down in the comments below. And that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. A double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Also, thank you to my YouTube members for your support. If you are new to the channel, do not forget to hit subscribe. Hit the thumbs up like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.